happen. Welcome back to Nerd Thug Radio. I'm the Captain Joey Savage.
I'm Cole Baldridge.
He totally just cut you off. You're the second, Mike. You go second. Let's try that again. I'm the Captain Joey Savage.
Beep, boop, beep. I'm a robot.
Yes, nice. Now you
can talk.
Now, intern.
And I'm the meatbag.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't get so excited, you get all like...
You poop the bed.
You pooped the bed there. This is halfway through the show. This is our weekly top 3. This is usually where I beatbox and Corey raps, but he's still dealing with gaseous issues. So we're doing a weekly top 3. You know, this weekly top 3 we came up with...
This is terrible.
5 months ago.
I know.
6 months ago. And when I came with this idea...
I'm no closer today to having a list I am 100% comfortable with than I was 6 months ago.
6 months ago, I had this idea. And,
No, you didn't. I had the idea.
And the first thing Zach says...
I consistently text Joey and Corey weekly top 3 ideas, and I sent them like 22 in a day one time.
And I said, we're going to do this one. And Zach was adamant that we did not do it unless he was on the show.
Yeah, there's a bunch of top 3s they're not allowed to do without
So
me.
we've been holding this one in the back pocket, and Zach's here today. And so the weekly top 3 this week is favorite robots / androids
/ artificial intelligence
/ cyborgs even.
Oh.
No cyborgs?
I need to redo my list.
Nope. No.
Me too.
In all pop culture.
If AI's on the table.
No cyborgs. So in typical Nerd Thug fashion, we're going to let the worst of us go first. So Colt, you are on the board. Number 3.
My number 3 is the T-1000 from Terminator 2.
The T-1000 from Terminator 2.
You want to talk about
I do want to talk about it. Go
a
ahead.
really good villain.
Yep. Mhm.
As what makes Terminator really great is that it's about the savior of humanity being pursued relentlessly by an unstoppable killing machine.
Yes.
So the
So-
Matrix?
That's what Terminator is about.
Yeah,
Okay.
what makes the number 2 so good is the premise is, let's do that, but now the killing machine from the first one is the good guy now, and the bad guy is an even worse version.
That's pretty good.
It's
So
such
it
a
gives it
weird,
context.
unbelievable about face to me. I don't know. Here's my problem with T-1000. I think it's incredible in terms of robots. Like, it's awesome, right?
Right,
Like,
right.
it's such a crazy idea for a robot, and it's something that for sure has not happened. Well, I say hasn't happened. Dune, one of my runners-up, has these things called face dancers, which we can talk a lot about. But the T-1000, to me, he's not any more scary as a villain than a walking machine gun.
Right.
Like, I like a villain who, like, you know his motivation and, like, you see him build and build. You know what I mean?
We'll get to that.
That to me is what made Arnold so great in the first one, right? Like, he was this terrifying thing, but then, like, you kept seeing him interact and you kept seeing him get smarter. I don't know. I really like T-1000 as a robot, though. It's insane.
So you're excited about the next Terminator movie?
I don't know.
It's a direct sequel to Terminator 2.
Is it?
Yeah, they're just... James Cameron's like, everything else happened?
He's like all that
Squash.
Genesis nonsense.
Squash
Even
it.
the one with the, what
Yeah.
was it? T
I don't
whatever, the lady Terminator, where they
T-15.
built a town and destroyed it because it was cheaper than doing a model.
Yeah. We talked about that a little bit last week. Yeah, James Cameron came in and he's like, all right, well, as I'm making Avatar, I'm also going to do Terminator. And it's going to be a sequel to part 2. Everything else, meh.
That's crazy.
Right. James Cameron's awesome.
James Cameron making Terminator is the only way that franchise is going to do something good again.
Very true. Maybe so. All right, Zach, you're number 3.
My number 3 is Deckard from Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep and or Blade Runner.
And or Blade Runner.
There's a lot of speculation that he wasn't really what is it called? Synthetics, whatever it was,
yeah,
the robot.
Synthetic robot?
I think he is.
I think he is.
I think
too.
he is, and I think it's a weird,
great.
sad, like, realization to get, especially when you read the book. Like, in the book, it's not quite as heavy-handed as the director's cut of the original Blade Runner.
True.
Where it's still kind of up in the air, but like I for sure felt like he was an android, and it made me really, really, really sad when I read that book.
Yeah.
Like, real sad. I was like, this guy just wants a real live animal. Like, he's having to kill people. He doesn't really feel great about killing. Like, it was real sad. I don't know. I thought it was really well developed. And then I thought Harrison Ford was great, obviously, in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And then Blade Runner
I
2049.
can't wait to
I'm
see
really
that one.
excited to see if he's acknowledged to be an android or not in it. Like, if they finally put to rest that he
Right.
is in the new movie.
There are 3 great actors in that movie. I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah.
It's gonna
So,
be so
yeah.
good.
So, for sure, Deckard is my number 3. There's a lot of runner-ups, but I think I'm going to lock him in.
Go ahead. Go and do some
number 3.
runner-ups. We don't have time for that.
I don't know. I like the R2-D2. I really like R2-D2 and C-3PO's dynamic against one another. Like, C-3PO is annoying.
They're like the only 2 characters that have been in every single Star Wars
Right,
movie.
it's crazy, right?
Just them 2. Right?
Yeah.
I think it's just them 2.
I think it is, too. I think you're right. I like how they play off of one another, and I think it's even more impressive. And I don't know whether or not to call this writing or direction or what, but like the fact that C-3PO is the straight man to R2-D2's comedy, that's a really hard thing to pull off when you don't.
Especially when the robot doesn't speak anything.
Right. But it's done really well. Like, don't get me wrong, Star Wars isn't full of a ton of jokes, but like there's always a good bit of humor between C-3PO and R2-D2.
Right.
And like, I don't know if you guys at Comic Palooza in Houston every year, they do a dramatic reading of Star Wars Episode 4 as told by William Shakespeare, as written by William Shakespeare. I don't know if you guys have seen those books.
That sounds dope.
They're really good. Like somebody took the Star Wars script and rewrote it as a Shakespeare in iambic pentameter. So I forget the name of the theater group that does a dramatic reading of it, but the lady who does R2-D2, she goes beep boop boop beep boop, and then like as an inner monologue, she says what R2-D2 is saying / thinking, just like it's written, and so like it adds a whole new window of like the humor there. So those are my those are my runner-ups or my number 4s. But,
It's like
but Deckard, I think.
It's like Groot and Rocket in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
Where Groot always Groot,
Right, where the entirety of the dialogue is carried by one character.
I love it.
I do too. I don't know why. That's a weirdly specific thing to be a fan of, but I'm a fan of it.
I'm not a huge C-3PO fan. Like,
No, he's terrible.
I don't like
he
him
should
at all.
never be in a scene by himself.
No.
The Force Awakens. He was
The red arm. I hate it.
there was no interaction. He's strong when he interacts. He's useless when he's not. He was dumb in Episode 1 and dumb in Episode 7, but everywhere else, R2-D2 really was the
He needs
Costello
R2-D2.
to his Abbott,
No,
or
it's
Abbott to Costello. I forget which one's the skinny one.
You guys want to
know.
hear a short excerpt of the Shakespearean Star Wars?
Sure, go
I
ahead.
think
You got
that's
it.
definitely worth
So
it.
this is all right. This is the chorus. It is a
Oh,
period.
it's not a.
No, it's the
You're
title.
not playing it off of YouTube. You're like, you're gonna read it yourself.
Oh,
I found the PDF.
I don't know how this is
Yeah.
going to be.
Scrap it. Scrap that idea. Keep moving on.
I don't know if I trust you to be able to hit the iambic
I don't know
pentameter
either.
correctly.
You can find it on.
I took a theater course.
Yeah, so did
Did
we all.
you?
We all
Yes.
did in high school. Did
did.
you?
I did in college.
Oh,
No, I didn't.
I took one in high school.
The best course I ever took.
All right, moving on.
I took an improv class in college.
Oh,
Yes,
that guy.
and nobody's yes-anding.
How'd that go?
Anyway,
Yes, and.
terribly.
Oh man.
Okay, so what's your number 3?
my number
cool
3,
guy?
since Zach really got upset about my original number 3, I switched it up to my honorable mention. The Cylons from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, which one?
All of them. Just the
But
whole.
they're vastly different.
Right,
in the
there's different
reboot.
ones. I'm talking. Oh, which Battlestar?
Yeah,
Galactica?
so like, is it the reboot ones that
Yeah.
look like people but aren't aware that they're
Right,
Cylons?
Those.
Okay.
Those are crazy.
That's a crazily written
Right.
storyline, especially when they start showing up multiple instances of
Yeah.
themselves, like people who you think the whole series, they're,
And they're actually Cylons.
Yeah.
And they
Hardcore
don't know.
Battlestar Galactica fans really, really hated that reboot, but I enjoyed it.
So I never watched Battlestar Galactica at all growing up,
Me
or the
neither.
new one. But I started watching Caprica. Have you seen Caprica?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Right?
Wasn't Caprica amazing?
So I watched Caprica and I was like, "This is awesome."
And then when it ended, I was like, wait, there's not another season of this?
Yeah.
Gotta watch Battlestar Galactica.
yeah. So then I started. That's what got me into Battlestar Galactica.
And did you watch the mini movie or the Blood and Iron? It's maybe called. There's a mini movie that happens between Caprica and
No, I need
and
to, though.
Battlestar.
I
yeah,
need to.
Yeah, yeah.
Captain Adame?
The whole mythos of the Battlestar Galactica universe with the 12 different planets with the
Because it started as like a
representing
religious thing.
yeah,
Right?
It's awesome.
Oh man, it's
So good.
Such a great show, and I found that
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Yeah, Caprica, what's up?
All right, Colt, what is your numero
Those
dos?
Cylons, that's a good one.
My numero dos.
They were created by
is
lizard people.
Lizard
Really?
people.
Yeah, the original ones.
Like
A
the
lizard-
like
like
the
a lizard
lizard people
race.
that run the earth.
Yeah, they took the reboot in an entirely different
I like it
direction.
because I tried to go back and watch the original.
I have
not
it
as
too.
good.
There's an animated Battlestar
Yeah,
Galactica
not
series
as, not
that's
as
not
good
that
as
great
the new
either.
one to me. All right,
All right. So my number 2 is Sunny from iRobot.
okay,
Cool.
cool.
It's
I like iRobot.
yeah, iRobot.
iRobot the movie or the Asimov novel?
The movie.
Okay.
I really the
It-
movie.
It's probably a little skewed because it's one of those I saw in the theater as a kid and I love it whether or not it's good or holds up
no.
or not.
After I watched iRobot, it prompted me to write my first comic.
Oh
The
yeah,
comic I'm
it's-
working on is because I watched iRobot.
You wrote a comic.
I'm working on one right now.
That's
The
pretty.
3
4
laws of
episodes in.
robotics, all that. Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
I was like, my main thing was, I wonder what would have happened if they actually would have taken over.
Isaac
like,
Asimov.
it's a good idea.
Isaac Asimov too invented robot fiction. Like
Yeah.
he's it.
He's
so
the man.
okay. So what specifically about the movie? Have you read the iRobot the books?
I have not.
Okay,
It's
fair
something.
enough.
It's something I have to do.
Fair enough.
Actually,
So Sunny, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
I think it's less more about Sunny the character and more of the world that the movie takes place. Of
And
this
it's Will
fu-
Smith.
And Will Smith, because
Greatest rapper alive.
Will Smith and those.
Quote Corey DLG.
Absolutely not
Oh,
the
yeah.
greatest rapper alive.
Quote Corey
He's not
DLG.
even the greatest rapper in this room.
That's true. That's me.
Of course. I think especially you, since you've read the novel, you could probably better expand on this, but especially the way that the three robotic laws are instituted and the way they have real life implications and how they're eventually twisted and contorted into something dark and horrifying that never was anticipated.
Right.
I mean, does the novel go further into that?
It's not. It's been a while since I read it. It's not that it goes further. Asimov does a really good job of taking those three rules, which could very easily have painted him into a corner, and making them actually the foundation of the plot. Right. Like the three laws of robotics almost make it a certainty that these robots aren't going to hurt people, and yet it's that very set of laws that makes it impossible to find out what happens when they do. And the book goes into more detail about like how the laws are developed and stuff like that. But I thought the movie was really good because I remember I read the book not long before, not long after I saw the movie in theaters. So like I remember that it's very, very close to the novel. It was a short novel, if I'm not mistaken, or a short story. But yeah, it's good. That's a good pick.
Yeah, that's a really good
Anything
movie.
Asimov related, I'm on board 100%.
Plus the CS5, the NC5 character designs look totally cool.
It's a pretty cool robot design in that movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know?
a bigger fan of robots that don't look like people.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why.
like maybe bigger versions of people.
No.
Okay.
No.
I just always thought it'd be fascinated to have robots to like just do like I've got a trash robot, now I've got a oven robot.
That's kind of what we're eventually getting
know,
to
right?
now. Just
What
little
would an
computers that
oven robot do?
Like it can just walk.
Like
with
how
you,
is
right?
an oven robot different than
Like,
an
it can
oven?
just-
it
It can
tweets
go
your
with you.
phone. Your dinner is ready.
Yeah, and it can
Then
just
5
go,
minutes later,
it just goes places with you.
your dinner's
Pack
burning.
it up and just walks
How
with you.
often do you need an oven when
mean,
you're on the go?
I mean, I wouldn't never have to go home to cook. I wouldn't have to go to fast food. I could just stop, cook right where I'm at.
But
Right?
Can you imagine the power and maintenance, Scott? That's going to have to run on batteries.
This is a
or
dumb idea.
Gasoline.
Wind power. Let's take a break real quick. When we come back, we'll get into mine and Zach's number 2s and number 1s for all of us. NerdThugRadio.com.